My name is Sinan Ismail, and I'm the CEO and Director of Digital Durian. And I'm here to share about Didi and Friends. It's our IP on YouTube. Right, so this is a story about a preschool IP, and it started on YouTube, and actually made it to the big screens. So you're talking an IP that started on YouTube, and now it's been on the cinemas in Malaysia. So introducing Didi and Friends is a fun, educational, and safe cartoon, or we call it an IP, for young children. So on YouTube, we just reached our 3-year-old milestone on YouTube 2 days ago. Was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday. And we hit 500 million views on YouTube and 500,000 subscribers. So it's pretty big for us. And counting, of course. So I want to share the journey with everybody. So actually, this is the pre-journey, I would say. So from my graduation days, I was a mathematics student. And then I worked for 3 years, and then I opened a company. I opened 3 companies. It went up and it flopped, it went up and it flopped. So in 2012, we started to focus to do our own IP with the support of the government, of course. And we entered a competition. So we're kind of lucky in Malaysia. We got 50,000 ringgit to start our journey. And we grew from 4 people to 6 people. And our mission is to make people happy. So now we have 60 people, right, working on this IP. Right, so let me just share you a short clip of what it's about. Okay, so those stats just now was actually from January, 280 million views. Now we just hit 500 million views on YouTube. And 90% of those views are actually from Malaysia. And so it's very localized. The versions you heard in English are actually rejected. So it's not on YouTube yet. So the English versions were just samples. And those 500 million views are actually from Malay songs in the local language. We're doing English again. Actually, we've done it twice, but we've rejected it twice. So we're trying to do it again to make it really proper for the international market, right? Okay, so these are how the characters look now. Didi is the one at the center. You have Jojo and Nana. They're actually chicks, and there's Rama chickens. They actually originated from Malaysia, and when they become an adult, they're actually just this size. And they're not bred to be eaten. They're actually bred as pets, right? Okay, but this was how they looked like in 2011. Right, so I think it's a big difference in terms of characteristics. And if I translate what's written there, dari mata turun ke hati, which actually means from the eye straight to the heart. It's like some lovey-dovey thing. And then we actually upgraded the characters. The second version in 2012, we had a friend. We did some background environment. And the third version, a little bit more of improvement, I guess. From not wearing anything, he started to wear a belt. Right. So using this, we actually did an 11-minute pilot. And then it was a series. It was called Didi and Friends, The Science Explorers. Right. We pitched that to local and international broadcasters, meaning in Malaysia, in Singapore. We went to Thailand, to Asia Animation Summit. And It was great that we got good feedback. Broadcasters said it was nice, it was cute, but the real feedback was that you're not ready yet for TV. And that was the reality. The second thing was that in Malaysia, broadcasters, they don't actually buy preschool content. And there's basically 4 major broadcasters. One of them, the bigger free-to-air, doesn't buy preschool content. One is a government TV. Another one is an Islamic TV. And the next one is a pay TV. So it was pretty hard for us. And we decided to change our path from doing a series and then to YouTube. Right. So we were lucky actually because then my son, he was 1 year old, and we were showing YouTube songs to him. And then we realized that, hey, the views are like tremendous, millions and millions, hundreds of millions views. But when we looked for local Malay children's songs, there were some, but not very high quality ones. So we had our characters, Didi and friends, and we saw the market gap of nobody doing quality content, quality children's songs in Malaysia. So we decided to go that way. It was quite scary because almost 10 out of 10 people we asked came up with these questions. Are you for real? You must be crazy. The broadcasters don't want to buy preschool, that's one thing. If you do short content, 2 minutes, it's even harder to sell to them. Yes, that was a reality. YouTube, you're wasting your time, how to make money, and probably the 11th person will say good luck. So that was quite encouraging. So we tried to change our business model from the traditional way of creating content and selling to broadcasters. We just said we'll do good content, we'll try to get as much eyeballs as possible to watch it, and then we'll do some merchandising, make it accessible to people, and we said that that's going to equal to success, hopefully. So that was back in 2013. So we started on YouTube, and our first video was on May 2014, sorry, on YouTube. And the great thing is, by December, we hit 6 million views. And in October, I actually emailed one of the broadcasters and just said, hey guys, our cartoon is now on YouTube. It now has 2 million views. And I think I've sent her, it was a lady, probably 5 to 6 emails before this, and none have been replied. But suddenly this email, after 2 to 3 minutes, that's great, let's do a meeting. So that was really good. I mean, data helps, right? So what happened is, we actually were invested into by Astro. So Astro is Malaysia's pay TV. And we co-own the IP together now, which is great. And our first season, we completed 26 episodes times 2 minutes. It's now on YouTube, Ceria, Xiao Taiyang, Astro Xiao Taiyang, that's a Mandarin. So we have a Mandarin version. It's on Singtel, it's also in Singapore. Actually, last weekend there was a mini Didi and Friends concert somewhere at one of the community halls. So the mascots were here in Singapore. It's on DVD, iTunes, Spotify, Yoni Music. If you call me, you can dance to the ringtone. So that was season 1. Season 2, we did another 20 songs, which is great. So now we have 46 songs. And there was a question from parents. Parents loved it, kids loved it, and there were some complaints. And the complaint was that it's too short. 2 minutes is not enough for my kid, and we want more. So I think that is a positive complaint. Right, so what happened is, we literally it's where the final episode of 39 episodes, completing it. It's going to be aired on TV soon, I can't tell you the date. But it actually hit the cinemas first, in March. So we took 20 episodes out of 39 episodes. we talked to a cinema vendor, TGV Cinemas, and it was like a dream. A cartoon starting from YouTube, songs, 3 years, less than 3 years down the road, is in the cinemas. So it was a really big achievement for us, and I think it opens up more possibilities for the industry too. Okay, so I think we need to go think beyond the box, go beyond the box. And I think over here where there's more game developers than content creators for cartoons. But I think we are actually in the same business of creating IPs. Right? This is something where I don't know why, but not a lot of people are actually understand this. And when they do a game, yeah, I'm a game developer, I do a game. Yeah, I'm a cartoon developer, I do cartoons, I do animation. But actually you create an IP. So the IP can go from YouTube to the cinemas, to books, to a lot of brand extensions. And what started from YouTube? Let's take Didi and Friends. Okay, I'll take a different example from games. Talking Tom, right? Now it's on YouTube, it's on other platforms, and Angry Birds. So it's much doable. And what differentiates a YouTube channel and an IP? Okay, this is a video of one of our events in Malaysia. Right, it happened late last year. And this is what differentiates a YouTube channel and an IP. So that was, it was actually a 5-day event. And throughout the whole 5 days, it was something like that. And it was really, really packed. It was really, really great. And I think that's the differentiator between it's not the differentiator, that's what an IP can do. If you treat it like an IP, you don't treat it like a cartoon, right? So this is a different event. Last 2 months, I think, in March. Yeah, it was at a bigger place. And it actually had another 2 more levels. So it was really, really huge. Everywhere we go, if we announce that the mascot is there, then people will turn up. If you look at the hashtag Didi and Friends on Instagram, so even though it's a preschool IP, but we talk to the parents, because in the end of the day, they're going to buy the stuff. Right, so we need to talk to the parents too. So the hashtag is very active. And I think this is very fun to look at too, because even though these are unlicensed cakes, right, but I think there's more than thousands and thousands of them in Malaysia now. So what that says is actually people actually love the IP. And the birthday is only once a year. So they can actually choose Didi on top of any other IP. So that's really great. Okay, so I was talking about brand extension, I was talking about IP. So our business is actually creating content and selling the license, right? So we've signed with one of Malaysia's biggest publishers. That's quite outdated. Now we have 24 books nationwide. And I think this is important for me because it started from my son. And it wasn't for money. It was actually to give benefit to him, to children. So we want to have merchandise that can actually go beyond the screen. We don't want them just to be on the screen. That's why this stuff is important. So you have books, there's plush toys, water bottles, school bags, happy kids, more stuff, walkie-talkies. We have our own concept store now, and this is in Metro Jaya, the Curve. So this is pretty cool also. It's a 600 square feet place. Apparel, online partners, more online partners. Even though the DVD trend is going down, right? But because it's children content, ours is actually doing very, very good. So we have Warner Music and Intim Records distributing our DVDs, extension of brand. So we actually license our characters to supplements, right? So it's a 1-year deal. They have our characters on their products. It's IP licensing. I think this is not alien. I mean, we see the big brands do it, but I think it's something great because it started from YouTube. I think that's the difference. And we have a game app. It almost beat Pokemon Go during its time. Number 4 on the top free App Store. We hit 750,000 downloads. It was actually licensed to another company to do the app. So we worked together, co-pro. It's still on the App Store. The revenue is quite good. The downloads is good. The active players are good. I can't give the stats because I'm not that well versed in the app world, but it's doing pretty good. And we want to do more apps, right? So if anybody is interested to work together, you can meet me after this. So what differentiates, I think, even though most of us are game developers here, but I think there has to be a USP to your IP. There has to be something special about it, right? So what differentiates Didi and Friends from other YouTube children's songs channels? Okay. This is the main thing. It's not song-driven. It is a children's song channel, but it's not song-driven, right? Then what is it? It's character-driven. And this is one of the biggest key differentiators. If I got the name right, Pekka Alpaca, right? Yeah, so it's along those lines. It's not song-driven, actually character-driven, but we have quite a huge universe of characters because this is not all. We probably have around 30 to 40 characters now. It's story-driven, and even though the song is 2 minutes, even though it's the same if you're happy and you know it, but we have a story to it in those 2 minutes. And now what happens is those 2 minutes is extended to become 7 minutes. So it's the first 2 minutes is a song with a short story, and then when it finishes, there's a longer story which continues from that song. Right? It's a new format. It's not been done anywhere, I guess. So we've tested it in the cinemas. We've tested it on kids. Kids love it. You'll see when it goes to the real public soon. Then it's only song-driven. Right? So I think those two factors are very important. And saying that also, we go beyond children's songs, right? What do I mean by that is we put a lot of thought in doing the songs. Who knows the song, You Are My Sunshine? You are my sunshine, my little sunshine. And I think I've been singing it for probably 20 years. Do you know what? Do you sing the verse after that verse? Do you know, right? Actually, it's not a nursery rhyme. It's actually a very gloomy song, and a very, very gloomy song. And that's not the only nursery rhyme which is like that. There are so many nursery rhymes which actually don't have meanings and have not so good meanings, right? So what we do, we actually change the lyrics, and we Didi-nize them. In a way, that's a make-up word, but that's what we do. So for example, since we're from Malaysia, and we're Muslim, so we don't touch dogs, and it's a sensitive thing, right? So bingo normally on YouTube is a dog. So our bingo is a cat, right? But beyond that is, who knows Old MacDonald? You must know Old MacDonald. Old MacDonald has a farm, right? But have you seen him? So all of the nursery rhymes, most of them, right? Or say 98% of them on YouTube sing Old MacDonald has a farm. We sing Uncle Atan has a farm. We sing Uncle Atan has a cat, and his name is Bingo. It's we don't sing there was a farm, I had a cat, right? So we actually brand our brand into this public domain song, and it's been subtly inserted but almost everywhere, right? Because it's about branding, it's about letting them understand and giving more value to them. So there's 3 types of songs, right? One is international songs which we localize to Malay. So you're talking about English songs. We actually now have Mandarin songs translated to Malay, Tamil songs translated to Malay, Indonesian songs translated to Malay. Type 2 is the old folklore Malay songs which we renew. And type 3 is songs which we actually use the melody, but we change the lyrics altogether, right? So for example, for type 3, are you sleeping, becomes January, February, March and April, May and June, right? So we change the lyrics where we need to and where we want to, in a way. And of course, I didn't mention in any of the slides, we work with education consultants, so we make sure that it's appropriate for children, the words used are simple, and that's very important for us, right? Okay, so type 1, there was one song which is in Mandarin, and it's about respecting your parents' guests. So I think it's a very good song. And in that song, what happens is, in the original song, right? So when your dad is not at home, then somebody comes, you have to open the door and treat him nicely, do food for him, and treat him like a guest. 50 years ago, 100 years ago, in Malaysia, that would be no problem, right? But now, would you let your kid to open the door to a stranger? No. So what do? We actually change the lyrics to make it sensitive and suitable for now. We're not sure about 20, 30 years later, but as for now, it works. So that's how far we go. This is a Uncle Atan song, just a short one. So Bingo also has his own character.
And his name is Bingo. I-N-G-O. 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 Yes, my name is Bingo. Meow, meow.
So since after this song, what happens is Bingo, how he talks is only meow meow, the iconic meow meow, and also na 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 na. So it could be I want to follow, meow, meow. That's the character we build based from the song. And what's interesting is we build things as it goes along, right? Because I think last time it was like, you do the script for 2 years, the pre-production, and then you do the production for another 2 years, and then you get the series out. When we had our first 2 songs on YouTube, it was on, and then we got feedback, it just improved and improved and improved. So it's also very important to be open, I think, for young developers to always accept feedback. To always listen to feedback, but you don't need to accept it, right? You always listen to feedback, but never decline it. I think that's very important. So what we believe is, as a business, right, you have to create value for people. I think that's a core thing. What we are creating, we're making people happy, we're making kids happy. We are encouraging relationship between moms and kids, parents, fathers and kids by singing together, right? We have a lot of comments on Facebook where the dad just comments and I'm suddenly singing Bingo in my car while driving. Why is this happening to me, right? So that's very interesting. We want to make people happy, and how is all of this possible? I think another thing is I'm a follower, and I believe what Steve Jobs standard for, which is we do what we love, and you should also do what you love, right? So I think that's it.
Congratulations, really great results. Sinan, I'm curious,
Yeah.
as I heard you present, Question I had was, you were mentioning the fact that there was a big jump in terms of from January to the numbers now on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Just curious as to what caused that massive jump in your views. Was it to do with the collaboration you had with Astro and that helped in terms of that big collab, or was it something else?
Okay. The jump, actually, there's not a really big jump from January to now. It's now 5 months. So we're getting an average 20 million views a month consistently. But I think before that, before we signed with Astro, we were already at 20 million views, averaging around, if I'm not mistaken, 100,000 views a day. Right, but then YouTube, my advice for YouTube creators is consistency. Don't stop creating videos, keep uploading, right? After we hit TV, of course there was a big hike. So our stats on TV was actually #1 for all children's content on Astro, right? Didi and Friends was #1. At the same time on YouTube also we were spiking up. So I think in Malaysia both screens are very much important, and both screens actually help each other. Right? It's in that situation now. But the reality of YouTube is when you upload more content regularly, the graph will go up. That's a definite. And then when you stop uploading, it will just go maintain until the next 3 months when you have more content, then you start uploading again, it goes up. And that's the reality of the trend.
You guys are awesome.
Thanks.
So 500
Thanks.
million views, 90%.
That's my co-director there. So Fadil is actually the co-director, and he's helping me a lot on the production side.
Brilliant job, guys. That's
Thanks.
incredible. 500 million, 90% in Malaysia. That's amazing.
Thank you.
So what's next for you guys? What's next for Didi and Friends?
Okay, that's not in the slides, right? It should have been. Okay, we just launched Indonesia, right? Because even though Malaysia and Indonesia is almost the same language, but we're talking about preschoolers. So we don't want our Malay kids to be speaking Indonesian as the first words, right? And we do get complaints from mums like, my son's first word is Didi, not Mama. Okay. Right. So, okay, Indonesia is one. We are talking to some partners to do Spanish, Portuguese, and English. We are also doing some other Asian languages. And I think we're happy with the progress in Malaysia, but we believe that Didi and Friends should go further than that. So we're looking for partners. And it's not just content. It could be games, it could be licensing, merchandising, anything. For me, Didi and Friends is an IP for everybody. And the more people we work together and we can share the revenue, we share happiness with children, with parents, as long as it goes true to the brand values, then we can talk, right? Beyond that, yeah, a lot of things. I mean, there's some new pictures in the phone. We just launched the Didi Move ride, so people can ride on Didi in the shopping malls, right? That's just launched. Hopefully a movie in 3 years, right? That's the target.
Okay, thank you so much, Sinan. Unfortunately, I think we're out of time, but I'm sure many of you may have more questions. Do catch him, I suppose, off stage. So thank you so much, Sinan.
Right, thanks.